Oh, something going on with BSG stream. We'll look into that here. But in the meantime, we have Frank off to the races, showing us how to begin things. Going to get a very nice horizontal and no garbage on his board. This is one of the things that Frank is absolutely amazing at. There's just always seems to be managing his garbage so well that there's none left.
Right. And there are all these moves that you say, wow, I don't understand why he put that pill there. I would have put it right over there in that easy place. And then you see a magical combo fell down and you realize what it's all about. Bidwell's also an amazing combo player. You see that there's a bit of time differential because of the lag in Bidwell's stream. But these two are actually pretty closely matched considering that time difference. So Bidwell might even be ahead at this point.
Oh yeah, that's really interesting. This is a thing we do see occasionally with Frank is he does tend to go down a little bit early in the first few matches, then hit his stride. So we may see that happen this time as well, or may not. We'll see. But he is finishing out his level 6 here. Just needs a little bit of yellow for his last virus on the left. Bidwell also needs a ton of yellow, just in a situation where uh, he has cleared out all his colors, all his other colors, so much earlier that just has to wait forever to get the pills that he needs for this last bit.
Right, and this is just unfair, giving Frank time to make some good setups, even though most of his board is red yellow. It's it's just never a good thing to have happen. And Bidwell just keeps running out. There he is. He gets that last yellow out at a 140. Decent time, but compared to Frank's, Frank's got a lot of time to get this going, and his plays are a little more straightforward right now, Dimwit.
Yeah, it does look like he's managed to plan ahead a little bit here and doing a great job of prioritizing the stuff at the bottom of the board, opening up the access to all of his viruses at this point. So he will not get blocked by not being able to reach them.
Right. And I think he is making a declaration by covering columns 7 and 8 that he is going to go horizontal on these blues. You see him setting that up. And now he just needs one more red and one more yellow, and he'll be out at a 232. That's an amazing time. And Bidwell still has 20 viruses left to go because of that horrible yellow drought.
Although when he gets to 232, he has only 18 viruses. So, you know, there is a little bit of time differential, as we were saying before, and that may be the thing that saves him here.
Right. Now, Frank currently working on a lack of red, which he's opening those up. You see him drop that down. Um, oh, now his stream has disappeared a little bit, but Bidwell managing to get out of some of his plays. I think he was going a little too fancy, maybe on the top, and now is much more straightforward. But the bottom right hand side is going to be a pain point for him until he can clear out column 7.
Yes, indeed. He will get a nice efficient horizontal clear on his red virus, but at this point, a little bit behind, I would say. Meanwhile, Frank has lots of vertical setups here, and sometimes that means there's going to be a little bit of fall time in the offing. We'll see whether that happens to him or not.
And the setup of the board is such that I think it's just got to happen because you notice this red staircase that's here, really hard to get that going in a nice combo-y way. So he's going to have to build underneath for anything other than red. Now, nice
Ooh.
drop there, but it does send a lot of garbage. So we'll see how he clears out that red in the center.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's garbage. It's like it does seem like there are ways to use some of it, but it does look a little bit frustrating compared to some of the things that he might have wanted to happen there. And
Right.
in the meantime, BSG doing a great job towards the top of his board here. One of
hmm
the things he's working on is making sure that he can get this leveled out again. He has quite a jagged top line with almost nothing in several of the columns here.
Right. And I think he's making an announcement. Yeah, he does want to go horizontally on those reds, but he had like some maybe dueling plans there. Needs a lot of red to make this work. and maybe wanting to go for a horizontal in row 1, but blocked off by that blue, so things are a little bit tough. And now Frank is already into level 9 with 35 viruses left to go.
A great fat log from Frank.
Mm, good stuff. Meanwhile, Bidwell just needs a couple more reds to be out. Let's hope he doesn't get the same kind of drought that he did in level 6. And he's out at a 521. Um,
Very solid time. Coming into the final level of this round.
mhm. Now, Frank's got a nice sweet tea going. Look at all that dropping down. And notice no garbage. Pill halves fell, but they were just in the right place to go on those lower levels. So looks fantastic.
We are going to see him trying to find ways to use red because mostly his red viruses are covered up. He does get a very nice setup for the yellow at the bottom there. And Bidwell setting up some great stuff as well. Looks like he is opening up access to the bottom half of his board. There's a lot of clears that I'd love to see happen from him in sort of inside out, if you know what I mean, where you clear from the middle of the viruses. Looks like he's got some opportunities for that to happen and is setting up for that as well. Good
But
sign.
it's not really enough. Frank out at a 637 to take game 1. And yeah, Bidwell left himself with some interesting garbage situations. Maybe could go for a D sandwich, but that high up, be difficult to get the offending pills gone horizontally.
Yeah. Well, he's noticed now that the time has come to play game 2. We've
Alright.
got GG's in chat. Got GG's in the booth. GG. GG easy. 1 re, maybe 2. We got readies from BSG and Frank.
All right, and here's our countdown: 3, 2, 1, pills.
Let's go. Frank getting warmed up, doing his hyper
Yeah,
taps.
yeah, wow. Um, now we don't have the same style debate as other games. You know, how do you hold the controller? How do you tap? But when you do see a hand cam, it's worth commenting on that. You know, some people really like to rely on slide, and Frank definitely is a tapper. So you'll see him attack that controller. Now, we don't have as much of a time differential here, so we can really comment on how things are going. And the players are really close right now. But looks like Bidwell made a big misdrop in the center of the board with that blue red, and he's going to be really struggling around that.
I think not a
Let's
misdrop. It's a combo
really.
setup. Yeah. Maybe
Oh,
not. Uh, so
yeah,
that it was definitely lined up to fall down onto the
right,
viruses underneath, but looks like he had to fire off something else to
right.
make progress.
The facial movement suggested misdrop, I guess. So
Ah,
both both players are at about 8 to 10 viruses. Wow, did you see that amazing move from Frank? Slid underneath and then stood right back up. I think that's a swim, right?
yeah.
Whoa, what a swim it is. Now notice he dropped some garbage down on column 5, but it doesn't matter because he can build underneath from those reds. Meanwhile, Bidwell faring a lot better than he did in the last level 6 that we saw. Um, now, I guess he would have wanted to use that blue-red on the red in column 2, but he's out at a 139. And Frank out at a 144, so Bidwell's in the lead right now.
A little bit. Frank definitely got stymied at the end of his last level with no red coming down for his final 2 viruses. But now Bidwell in a situation where there's not really any blue available to him on his top line.
Oh man, and Frank just had an awesome, awesome combo. Just really great vision setting up a beautiful horizontal in the center of the board, but everything falling just perfectly. Looks like he might have an opportunity to set up another good horizontal over on the left-hand side with the yellow. Requires some creative action, but I think he's going to get it done.
Very cool. And meanwhile, I feel as though Bidwell has brought this back
Yeah.
down to about as many viruses as Frank, but slightly behind on
Whoa.
his timer.
That combo fired, and it was everything I hoped it would be. Yes. I freaking love this game, man. It's so good.
Oh,
And, you know, still even here, another good combo from Frank. Everything's set up to be really nice. Just one more blue, one more red, and he'll be out. So he'll be out at a 301. Bidwell just needs a couple of yellows and a red. Now, I think it's important for him not to block off too much of column 8, make it too much of a mess. But this double red really going to come in handy, and he's out at a 312.
wow. This is so close. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness.
Now,
Bidwell setting up some great stuff for to have
mhm.
no drop clears here at the top of his board, and getting some great combos fired off that way.
Definitely. And Frank's board not as conducive to the magical combos that he was working with before, but you see that it's still great for producing very efficient moves. Just this garbage on column 2, the ominous hanging yellow, is bothering me a little bit. We'll see what Frank does with it.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to take care of. Maybe one of the things he's hoping is that he gets to the end of the level and never had to take care of it. It's
Hmm.
definitely one of those things that you can wait a long time and see what
Oh,
happens, sort of. That looks like it's going to force him to take care of it at some point, I would say.
right. I think that might have been a misdrop there. Meanwhile, Bidwell has an opportunity for, you see him setting up a horizontal, probably in row 3, and a horizontal in row 2 as well. So that will be nice and layered when he gets that to fire off. So part of it is gone. And I think he might even be thinking about, yes, horizontals in 3, 2, 1, as Frank is out at about a 435.
And indeed, Frank did manage to pull off the situation where he just never had to clear that garbage. So good on him. He's going to be setting up at the top of his board. Uh, yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on here. Looks like he's going to get the double blue he needs for this nice horizontal clear. And lots of combos set up and waiting to fire.
hmm And meanwhile, Bidwell just entered into level 9. Had a little bit of trouble with his last couple pills. I think he maybe ignored an opportunity to clear out a little bit earlier, but not a big deal. And making good work of the fact that there was just a ton of blue on the top of this board, Dimwit.
Yeah, there really is. That has given him the opportunity to use the tons of blue pills that the doctor has been giving him, though. So thank you, doctor, for that. Getting a nice T clear to take away a little bit of garbage that had happened there. Really nice opportunity that he took advantage of, and a great lightning bolt to avoid fall time.
Yeah, some really nice work from Frank here in this level. Now, he is a little bit locked up tight on the right-hand side. Not exactly sure what happened in the bottom right-hand corner to cause the yellow and blue down there. Not usually his style, but I think it shouldn't be too big of a deal as he has an 8 virus lead with a slightly messy board from uh, Bidwell, especially in columns 7 and 8.
Oh, and Bidwell has deefed it.
Yikes!
Yikes.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about that. And Frank is out at a 628. Bidwell still with 7 to go and a bit of a messy board there. GG's. So Frank will be moving on to round 2 to face the winner of Watchma and Sarah Sparkle, which will be happening tomorrow on this channel at 5 o'clock. So we'll see you in a couple minutes. GG's to Bidwell and Frank. And Frank, good luck in round 2.